Hello, Forum. Evolve Stage 2 has been doing well these past few weeks on Steam. The player base is starting to stabilize around a 20k peak, which is more than anyone could have guessed. Even TRS seems a little surprised. The success of Stage 2 is a relief to anyone that fell in love with Legacy back in February of 2015, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather the giant tusked beast in the room, Behemoth. There's been a lot of complaints about Behemoth's traversal, mainly that it's too slow. While that isn't technically the case, the flow of Stage 2 tends to diminish the roll's potential. From point A to point B, Behemoth is one of the fastest monsters over long distances. But there is a catch. The roll's traversal starts up slow and then ramps up in speed. This, combined with a 20% startup cost, can really slow down a monster that is just trying to grab a few bites. Every time Behemoth has finished eating a pair of striders and wants to move on, the startup cost kicks in. It's important to mention that food has become even more spread out in Stage 2 than in Legacy, and it also requires more energy for monsters to evolve now than it has ever. To understand why Behemoth has these limitations to his roll, we'll have to take a look at the Maidens of April and September of 2015. When Behemoth was released back on March 31st of 2015, a new strategy, coined as roll spamming, granted Behemoth access to easy and reliable damage. Behemoth players would, quite literally, roll over hunters. While Behemoth is in a rolling state, anything he touches takes damage and knockback. As long as a Behemoth player could press the traversal button and follow the flailing hunter, the hunter would effectively be stun-locked and forced to rack up health damage. To counteract this, the devs implemented the 20% energy cost on the roll startup. If a Behemoth player used an ability after roll spamming, the startup cost would restrict the next rolling frenzy. The roll's raw damage was also lowered. Fast forward to September of 2015 when Behemoth's armor plates are changed to receive half damage from bullets, and Behemoth's roll damage is raised because he was having trouble moving past fauna with more health and the small pre-buff damage. The roll buff of course also helped Behemoth in combat, and roll spamming returned to the debate stage. With the release of Stage 2, the Evolve developers implemented his new slow-starting traversal to counteract roll spamming. It works like a charm right now, but the fact of the matter is, and I know a lot of people will hate me for saying this, but Behemoth needs to be able to roll spam. Okay, that's not completely true. Behemoth doesn't need roll spamming, he needs free damage. This brings me to the thesis of this video: Behemoth needs a new ability. What's the difference between Behemoth's abilities and every other monster's abilities? Easy, free damage. What do Fire Breath, Death Spiral, Decoy, and Acid Spit have in common? They're all either undodgeable or require lots of jetpack to dodge. The only two monsters that don't have one of these abilities is Kraken and Behemoth. Both of these monsters don't have any free damage currently. However, Banshee Mines are free damage if not given attention, and a close-range vortex is difficult to dodge. Behemoth on the other hand has 4 skill shot abilities, while every other monster only has 2. So how was Behemoth ever strong? Behemoth was strong when he possessed high melee damage and high roll damage. Keep in mind, a slower roll means less melees as well. The current Behemoth outputs nearly 0 free damage, whereas all other monsters have undodgeable abilities that hunters choose to tank. Now, Turtle Rock Studios has tried high melee and roll damage before, and players didn't respond well. So why not make our tank like the other monsters and give him a free damage ability? But of all of Behemoth's 4 abilities, Fissure Tongue Grab, Lava Bomb, Rockwall, I feel like Lava Bomb is the best suited to become a free damage ability. It has the range Behemoth needs and the damage over time that accompanies many free damage abilities. Lowering the damage, shortening the cast time, having the cooldown, and shrinking the radius will turn Lava Bomb into a hybrid between the Banshee Missile and the old Lava Bomb and give Behemoth his much needed free damage. And that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, like the video if you enjoyed, share it with friends, and most importantly, happy hunting. Just want to add that the devs are currently working on a roll traversal change of some sort, and a new passive ability for Behemoth. Everything they've told us they're working on can be found here. The latest Metabase thread can be found here. If you have any suggestions for the Metabase, leave it down in the comment thread below. Thanks for watching, and see you next video.